What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Rapid Fire Skyrim Builds, the show where, well, you know the deal by now, 5 minutes or less, blah blah blah. I'll spare you the pretentious fluff this time around and jump right into the meat of the matter. Today we'll be taking another stab at bringing classic D&D characters to life within Skyrim, and this time we'll be diving into my all-time favorite fantasy series, Dragonlance. The world of Krynn is much like the world of Nirn. Both are worlds of might and magic, and both have seen the disappearance and re-emergence of the dragon race. When the goddess Takhisis began her assault on Krynn during the conflict that would come to be known as the War of the Lance, the bulk of her force was divided into 5 great armies, each headed by a leader known as the Dragon High Lords. At the head of the Blue Dragon army stood Kitiara Matar, a manipulative, cold, ambitious, and beautiful fighter who commanded respect from ally and foe alike. So impressive was she that she even earned the undying respect and love of the Blue Dragon Sky. No ordinary worm, but a great dragon brought to Krynn from another world whose race dwarfed the Drakes of Krynn. Kitiara was instrumental in many victories of the dragon armies during the war and was responsible for the deaths of some of the Resistance's greatest heroes. During the attack on Palanthas, Kitiara was mortally wounded by the apprentice of her half-brother, the wizard Raceland, and succumbed to her injuries. It was at this point that her former ally, the Death Knight Lord Soth, came for her, intent on making this warrior woman his undead bride. However, her soul managed to escape his grasp and vanished into the ether. Kitiara's legacy and the respect she commanded was so strong that even after her death, Sky would spend the rest of his life searching for his master's soul, as would Lord Soth and even Takhisis herself. And while they may have never succeeded, that won't stop us from resurrecting the Blue Lady ourselves in the land of Skyrim. Kitiara is an extremely capable warrior as well as an extremely persuasive leader. As such, we're going to use Imperial for our chosen race and use a stat spread of 70% health and 30% stamina. For the Standing Stone, we're going to go with the Lord Stone for the boost to our survivability in the form of increased armor rating and magic resistance. Kitiara is a simple and straightforward fighter, and our weapon of choice will be a Nordic greatsword. For defenses, we will use Blades Armor, Ancient Nord Gauntlets, and Ebony Boots. Finally, you will want to obtain the Galder Amulet and a solid ring enchanted with Resist Magic, and your choice of Enchanted Circlet. However, should you want to go with the full armor, then you will instead use a Dragonbone Helm, which will do a fair job of imitating the Dragon High Lord's iconic helmets. Now, those familiar with Dragonlance may well ask why I chose this gear when in Dragonlance Kitiara wore blue dragon scale armor. The answer is simple. I chose, rather than to simply go with Skyrim's dragon scale gear, to go this route in order to maintain both the sleeker look of her armor as well as to attempt to maintain as much blue as possible on the character. And while the Blades armor is primarily a steel gray, there are blues within the softer areas of the gear. Recommended enchantments you'll want to use for the build are Fortify Two-Handed, Fortify Block, Fortify Stamina Regen, and Resist Magic. Your favorited shouts and powers will be Bend Will, Call Dragon, Dragon Rend, Battle Fury, Dismay, and Voice of the Emperor. For the Black Books, the main things you're going to want to take here will be Secret of Strength and Seeker of Might. And for the perks, in Two-Handed you will take 5 points in Barbarian, Champion Stance, Great Critical Charge, Devastating Blow, Sweep, and War Master. In Block you will take 5 points in Shield Wall, Quick Reflexes, Power Bash, Deadly Bash, and Disarming Bash. In Heavy Armor you will take 5 points in Juggernaut, as well if you use a Dragon Plate Helm, or if using a mod that negates the requirement for a helm for the additional perks in the tree, then you will also take Well Fitted, Tower of Strength, Matching Set, and Reflect Blows. In Smithing you will take Steel, Elven, Dwarven, Orcish, Ebony, and Daedric Smithing along with Advanced Armors and Arcane Blacksmith. While these perks are spread onto both ends of the tree, it's required to make the most out of all of the gear. Finally, in Speech you will take 5 points in Haggling, Allure, Bribery, Persuasion, and Intimidation. And that wraps up our recreation of the Dark Lady of the War of the Lance. The build uses only vanilla assets and is fully playable with no mods, but if you're the modding type, you'll want to be sure to find yourself a nice deep blue cape to throw across her shoulders, and if you went with the circlet route rather than the helm, no helmet required is a good mod to open up more of the heavy armor perks for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like, and I'll be speaking with you guys again next time. And as it happens, I'm currently working on a rather interesting collaborative build, but we'll save the details on that for another time. As usual, I'm Shadowlord Zero of MasterQuest Gaming. Happy questing, everybody.